Yo, what's going on? It's that boy Fred. Welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we're going to be picking up right where we left off with the Naruto Shippuden best fight tier list. Now, if you didn't watch part 1 of this list, I definitely recommend you go do that first so you can get my reasons for where these fights are. And if you're new to the channel or you just been watching and haven't subscribed, please go down there, hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you do not miss another video. And with that out the way, let's get straight into this list. Now, we're going to start off with Obito versus Conan, and this fight was very thrilling to me, man. This was nice, because Conan had... This was our real first showing of Conan actually fighting. And granted, she did get dogged. Like, yeah, Obito completely shit stomped her, let's be real. But the good part is she did catch him off guard and force Obito to use Izanami. And... other than that, I mean, it was all around a good fight. You know, it kind of resulted in her death, but it was all around a good fight. Kankuro versus, I believe this is Sorcery. This was trash. I don't need to go into much detail about that. Sorry. Zabuza versus Kakashi the second time. It was decent. You know, it wasn't as good as the first time. Now, Zabuza did come back stronger than, it looked like he was much stronger than when he was alive. It's very weird. I guess that was just the progression of the story, because Kakashi was way stronger than he was right now than when he was in the Land of Waves, and Zabuza came back and was still fighting decently on par with him. So, you know, that's weird, but it was decent. Neji versus this 30% clone. I think this is Team Guy in general fighting against 30% clone of Kisame. This is pretty trash. It wasn't it. Darui versus Kinkaku and Ginkaku was it was decent. I like this. This was a nice little fight for Darui. Darui is probably my favorite side character, you know, besides, you know, the main cast. This fight right here, this was trash. This was Mifune and Hanzo fight. It wasn't very good, you know, it was iffy. All right, Team 8, no, they're not Team 8, they're Team 10. Team 10 versus Asuma. If you don't know who Team 10 is, it's Shikamaru, Choji, and Ino versus Asuma reanimated. It was a decent little fight. It was kind of touching for all of them. So, you know, yeah. Zetsu versus the Mizukage and her crew. It was kind of disappointing. Actually, no, I'll take that back. It was decent because Zetsu was actually, Black Zetsu specifically, was actually holding his own. It was a very nice showing. Gar versus his dad. It was disappointing. I did not expect Gar to, you know, seal away Rasa that quick. But other than that, I mean, it was cool. But yeah, nothing more than, you know, disappointing. The second Mizukage versus that whole platoon of people was kind of disappointing as well. Well, until Inoki showed up, but even then it just it wasn't the best showing of him. Raikage versus Naruto was a very decent moment. Actually, it was thrilling. It was a very good moment for Naruto, finally given the props that he deserved by the Raikage, so I really enjoyed that. Naruto versus the Raikage's father, the third Raikage, was decent. It was a very nice moment in the show. You know, Naruto had to use his brain a little bit, had to think, had to even call in on the Eight Tails and get some advice from some other people who actually knew the Raikage. So that was a nice, decent altercation. Minato versus B and A, which is the fourth Raikage. It was a thrilling moment. It was another early on moment we seen from Minato that made me fall in love with the character. All right, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have no clue what the freak this is. I'm sorry, I'm gonna put this in trash just because I honestly don't know what this could possibly be. If you know, please leave it down in the comment section. Granny Chio and Sakura versus Sorcery. It was, I would give it a thrilling. It was a good fight for Sakura, especially. You know, we all was calling Sakura useless. You know how we was all doing. We was doing it wrong. But you know, Sakura had a nice little showing in this fight. It was nice for her. All right, Nagato. This looks like specifically Nagato versus not Itachi. Well, I can't tell if this is Itachi Nagato or Nagato versus Itachi and B and Naruto. But if either one of them are both thrilling, because those are some really cool moments. Seeing Nagato go, you know, to the full extent of his power, basically, and seeing what a little of an example of a prime Itachi would look like, that was a cool altercation. Madara versus the fourth division. Goated. Come on now. Like, I'm pretty sure you've seen this everywhere. Like, it's not even no need to explain. People have this, and shoot, I even have a clip of this in my intro. Like, yes, this is a very top tier moment for Naruto fans. All right, B and Naruto versus all the dead Jinchuriki plus Obito. It was kind of disappointing. That fight lasted about 5 seconds. I'm gonna be honest. They went in there, got messed around, and walked right out. Now, eventually, they end up fighting the tail beast outside of it, but then even then that fight wasn't all that until Obito truly started fighting too. The Kage versus Madara, I want to say disappointing, but it was decent. They just got their ass whooped. I'm gonna be honest. It was heartbreaking. You know, for these 5 Kage to get dogged that bad, it was sad. All right, Itachi versus this is Itachi and Sasuke versus Kabuto. It was thrilling. It was a really good fight. It was that bond needed. This picture right here is legendary. It was very, very touching ending of the fight, and the fight itself was pretty good too. Naruto versus this looks like Obito. I'll give it decent. This altercation wasn't the best, but it wasn't the worst neither. Ren versus why is Ren okay, I'm gonna put that right there. Sorry guys, I don't know why this is a fight. Danzo versus Shisui. This was trash, guys. I'm sorry, this was absolute trash. It's nobody that could possibly convince me why Shisui lost an eye. I will not go for it, because this is a Danzo with no Sharingans. Well, yes, this is a Danzo with no Sharingan because the Uchiha coup d'etat hadn't happened yet. So no, this is no excuse for Shisui to lose an eye, let alone to lose the fight and want to kill himself after because he knew Danzo was coming after. All he had to do is tell Itachi. No, I'm sorry. No, that wouldn't have worked, because then that would have made the problem no better. But I'm sorry, y'all. No, Shisui should have never lost. All right, this is the entire Shinobi Force versus Madara and Obito. This was thrilling. You know, they're doing their ally. No, this is versus the Ten Tails. Yeah, this is them doing their allied Shinobi Force Jutsu versus the Ten Tails. That was a pretty cool moment. Got you a little hype. Hashirama versus Madara. Goated. That fight was amazing. If you watch it, if you really haven't watched it, I suggest you go watch it, because I don't hear a lot of people speak on that fight. That's a really good fight. This one was disappointing. Really, I could live without this one, honestly. Data versus, Kakashi and Naruto. It was iffy. All right. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Okay, so this is the original fight versus Madara and Hashirama. All right. If that's the case, I'm gonna take this one down to decent. I'm sorry. This is the real one. This is the one where yeah, they went dummy. Okay, that one's goated. That's the real one right there. Yeah, that one's goated. All right, Naruto Sasuke versus and Sakura versus. I believe this one they was trying to all charge towards Obito. It was thrilling. This was their first moment back together as Team 7, so that was really good. You already know this is going for me. It's also in my top 5 list. If you watch that video, Obito versus Kakashi is very nice. Best hand-to-hand comeback in the show, in my opinion, fight-wise. The Tobirama, this really wasn't a fight neither. This was more of an altercation specifically. But I guess I'll count this as Sasuke and Naruto versus Jubito along with Hokage. This was decent. This was decent. It had that little touching moment where Naruto was he was getting revenge for Obito talking down on Minato. Nice little moment. It was a smart moment too, because they realized that they couldn't hit Obito with anything other than like a Sage Jutsu or just a really amped up Jutsu, because he was in his Ten Tails form. All right, so this is everyone ripping the Ten Tails out of Obito. This is disappointing. Obito literally just it almost in the moment was like he just gave up. Like, it was very, very disappointing. It was like he just straight up gave up. All right, Madara versus all the Tail Beasts. It was decent. I'll give it the same tier. It was a cool altercation. All the Tail Beasts using their little jutsu, but Madara just sat there and just got hit by all of it. So that altercation was short, but it was cool. Kushina versus this is not Kushina. I'm sorry. I seen the chains and thought Kushina. Karen versus the Ghetto Mazo statue that Guru was on. It was disappointing. It was a cool moment for her, but all around it wasn't a fight. I don't know why these are moments on here. I definitely should make my own list. Guy versus Madara. I'll give it legendary. I won't give it GOAT tier. Because if he would have fought Madara by himself, I probably would have given it legendary. I mean GOAT tier, but I don't know if the same outcome of that fight or the fight would have even got that far. Because we all know that it was on a few occasions God might have got clapped if not for Minato, Gar, Lee, and Kakashi all being there. Alright, Madara versus Naruto and Sasuke. This was I'll give this legendary because this was really good when in the moment when it happened. Alright, Kage versus Naruto was thrilling. This was a good fight for Naruto. We finally got to see him fight one-on-one with somebody who was, top tier. Because after he got a six-pack, it was always him and Sasuke. But this is the first time, we got to see him by himself. Orochimaru versus Naruto was also a thrilling one. If you watch, this is actually another slept on one too, in my opinion. This is a really good fight. Naruto raged on now, as you can see, went into his tail beast stage, uncontrolled, and Orochimaru was hanging with Naruto. And the crazy part is, the man didn't even have his arms. I know you see him hitting right here, but he didn't have no arms. His arms were still sealed away from when Hiruzen used the Reaper Death Seal on him. So yeah. Kage versus Naruto, Sasuke, and Kakashi. It was decent. If I don't feel too highly on Kage. I'm sorry. If you seen my villains tier list, you'll know why I don't feel too highly on Kage. I mean, the fight itself was okay, but Naruto versus Sasuke, y'all know how I feel about this one too. I mentioned that one in my top 5 video. It definitely could have been on there, but I had to choose between that one and the Final Valley, the original one. But this fight is goated. Sasuke basically bodying the new version of Team 7. It was disappointing because exactly what I just said. He just straight bodied them. Like, if he would have hit off that Kirin and Orochimaru did not stop him, Naruto would have ended right then and there. Sorry to tell you. Alright, this is Asuma and his squad versus Hidan and Kakazu. This was decent. Actually, no, I'm gonna get this thrilling because it kind of resulted in Asuma's death, sadly. It was a nice altercation. We got to see at least a little bit of what Asuma could do. I might want to say that's the max of what Asuma could do because these were Akatsuki members, so he knew going into this he couldn't go in there playing no games. So it was nice. It was a good fight. I want to say this is Kakashi and all his squad versus Kakazu, and if that is the case, this one is the same tier. This fight is really good. Like, I felt like Kakashi was banging out this whole fight. Like, he was banging out with Kakazu, he was banging out with Hidan, and he was the only reason the rest of them were still alive. Because I swear, if Kakashi went down, they all was gonna go down because Kakashi was holding his own. He was legit going crazy. But as we see, we complete all the fights. That concludes this video right here. If you guys enjoyed this and want to see maybe another tier list, I know you guys might be a little tired of the tier list. If that's the case, please leave a comment below. If y'all aren't enjoying these videos, I will stop them because I want to upload stuff that you guys are enjoying. So with that out the way, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Please be sure to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and I'll talk to you guys in the next one.